modello.
So have you cleared your head now?
Eh?
Cleared your head?
Yeah.
So what do you for me to? Hello and welcome to another session of Focus on Children. I'm your presenter, Auntie Tusan. In today's Focus on Children, I have a very beautiful surprise for you. In one of the villages in Sierra Leone, Waterloo, there is a place called New London Manokona. There I met an orphanage called Children's House of Hope. These kids are here, they don't have parents, they don't have anybody to take care of them. But they are so fortunate that they met a white guy. The guy's name is Mr. Banks. And Mr. Banks is here to tell me how he came in contact with these kids and why Sierra Leone. And moreover, why is Manokona in Waterloo. You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
So, Mr. Banks, can you please tell listeners your name and what you really are?
My name is Darryl Banks. And what's the second part? What I'm doing here?
Yes.
Well, I came to, just a very brief, I came to Sierra Leone 2 years ago. Just to visit and do some volunteer work. I do some volunteer work in Los Angeles, where I live. I wanted to do some volunteer work, specifically sort of in the West Africa region. And Sierra Leone really was, to pick it, was more a combination of, it was a safe enough place that I could actually go to and travel. And I went through a company in Canada who sends out volunteers to certain countries around the world. And Sierra Leone was one of the countries that they had on their list. There was a few others they had in Africa, but Sierra Leone just seemed to fit what I was looking for in terms of volunteer work. It was obviously recovering from a civil war. There was a democratically elected president. It was safe. The UN, I think, when I first came, was actually still here. They pulled out just after. So it just seemed a safe enough country to come to, but a country where I feel like I could do the most amount of work. If I went to a country like South Africa or Kenya or Egypt or Nigeria, that's very established and a much richer country, I felt like, because I was just one person, I'm not an organisation, I felt like with just me, one person, I could do more in a country like Sierra Leone.
Well, coming to Sierra Leone is very important, but why Waterloo?
Well,
because, excuse me,
yes.
There are kids out there in the capital city that they are living more worse than this here in this Waterloo village. We have kids in the street. There are certain ocean, rivers and beaches around that these kids go and play. There are certain sports, we call them ports, in our local language, where these kids, they are destitute. They don't have places to sleep. You walk at night, you see, like for PZ, you'll see places there that these kids will just lie down and sleep.
Yeah.
So why not think about them? And you came all the way to Waterloo. What happened?
Well, there's really a couple of answers to that.
I want them.
You want both answers? I'll give you a few answers. The first answer is, again, just me being one person. I'm not an organisation. I don't come from a lot of money. I'm just a middle, income, middle class American. I felt that my money would go further in a rural area like Waterloo rather than Freetown. I feel like my money could do more here than in Freetown. The second answer is, when I first came here, I stayed at Tisana, which is a small village, maybe 20 minutes down the road. Abu Bakar Kamara took me there, and from there, Waterloo was the stopping off point to Freetown, because we were doing some volunteer work in Tisana, and then I'd done a little bit of work around here at the, I think, Kissy Town. So it was really just more familiarity. And when I decided I was going to open up an orphanage, and it's a non-profit orphanage, in America we call it a 501c3, which is like an official non-profit, we have to open somewhere. And because I'm kind of familiar with this area, and I wasn't, so familiar with the Freetown area, the rent here, because at first I paid for everything myself. The rent on this place was, I think, $1,100 for 1 year. I paid for that out my own money. That was no donations. That was my money to help start the orphanage. And because, again, I'm just one person, my money at first wouldn't have gone that far in Freetown, but I felt with the familiarity of being in the Waterloo area, this house came up for rent that Abu found, and it was the amount of money that I felt that I had at the time that I could afford, and put my own money up front. So that's kind of why it was a combination of a few things.
Okay, then I want to know now, how do you came in contact with the kids? Is it Abu that found that search for the kids, or you just see them out there?
Yes, no, it was Abu. I came here last May 2011, and we'd already set up in America the 501c3 Children's House of Hope. We're registered with the American government, official non-profit status. I came here in May with the idea that we would have kids here, but obviously, you know, we didn't want to just drag kids off the street. We wanted to check with the social welfare. I'm not sure what you call it, the social welfare, the social ministry. So we wanted to go through the proper channels. So I was here for about 10 days, 2 weeks, and we just weren't able to find kids through them channels. While I was here, we were doing a lot of other stuff. During that time, we actually bought a lot of stuff from Waterloo, the bedding, the children's clothes, you know, their toothbrush, toothpaste, washcloths, and we hired the people who work here, local nurse.
How many people do you have working?
We have 6 people work here.
6 people?
Six
For how many children?
For 10 children.
Okay. And how do you see them? Are they taking care of them?
From what I see...
For your own standard?
Yeah, even by my own standard, I think it's fantastic. I can run down. Abu is I trust 100% because I send money every month from America, and he sends me back a report, and everything has to be completely above board because we are an official 501c3, and everything. There's nothing that I've seen that makes me distrust Abu.
So where did you register this orphanage?
Abu, in America, we registered with the American federal government, which you have to sort of register with as a 501c3.
And here?
Here, Abu done all them paperwork. He went up to the local ministry in Waterloo and registered with the local Waterloo district. I believe he also registered with the district in Freetown. And I'm not sure of all the, you know, the bureaucracy and what their name is.
I think that's what your concern. You should.
Yes, I think so.
You should. You have to.
Yeah, I agree.
And now let's talk about the kids. You call the house Children's House of Hope.
Yeah.
What are they hoping for? I want to know what's the hope that they should have.
Well, I think my hope and their hope, I think, is the same.
What is your hope?
And my hope for them, short term, is just to give them a safe place to live, give them 3 meals a day, give them clothes, give them an education, send them to school, give them a safe place to live. Medium term and long term, we would like to continue to provide them a place to live and to feed them. Long term, we would like to send them all to college. We would like to send every single one of these kids to college, and that when they finish college, they can turn back around and go into their community. We don't want them after college going to England and going to America. We would like them actually staying in the community to give back to the community.
So are you thinking about telling them, asking them that what you've given them too should try and turn it over to their community to help other kids?
I'm not telling them to do that, but I believe that they should, because I believe Sierra Leone is a country that needs people who can actually put back into the community that can help build Sierra Leone. I believe Sierra Leone has a lot of potential. It has a lot of potential with tourism. The beaches in West Africa, for instance.
Well, people here would think that you coming here to build up an orphanage in the remote area like this place, is that you have other thing on your mind, that because Sierra Leone is a rich country with minerals.
Yeah.
So what would you say to that?
Outside of, you know, I'm just one person, just one man coming out here, and my concern is just for the children. I've never, you know, had an interest in...
Have you seen a diamond here?
I've never seen a diamond.
What about
here.
gold?
I've never seen gold here.
Okay,
no.
So you're not here for that?
I'm not here for that. You got to realise, in America, we've been doing this, the Children's House of Hope has been running for approximately 8 months, 8 or 9 months. I put $7,000 of my own money into this because we have donors, but most of the donors are small donors, family friends. My mother gave $360, my brother, I have some friends. So it's very, at the moment, I'm basically paying for this orphanage every month.
Yeah.
So my only interest is for the children.
For the children.
I believe it's...
And you want to stay just for the children?
Just for the children. I'm not interested. Everyone has a focus. Every organisation has a focus, and my focus is for, you know, troubled kids who maybe have lost their parents, street children. I believe we have 3 other boys here with street children.
So let's come back.